Next up, Machine Robo Revenge of Kronos 1. That's a mouthful. Contains episodes 1 through 5. Seems to be from 97. It looks earlier though, not exactly sure. Machine Robo. A lot of these I've picked up at pawn shops and thrift shops just because it looks like it's my kind of anime. Mecha, definitely a mecha anime. This mecha on the back has horns. I'm in. Very Bubblegum Crisis, Shinji Aramaki like Cyborg uniforms there. Machine Robo. From the art director of Blue Seed. Okay, so there you go. Another one that I'm somewhat interested that I showed off earlier. Machine Robo. Lupin the Third, Island of Assassins. I gotta be honest, I've only seen Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro, which is directed by Hayao Miyazaki. I need to watch more Lupin the Third. He's a thief. And he's sort of a James Bond sort of character. Very fun movie, at least Castle of Cagliostro was, which I hear is one of the best Lupin movies. But I do have a few here, might as well show them. Secret of Twilight Gemini. What do we got? Mission Irresistible. Definitely a very Bond-ish title there. And yeah. So these 3 Lupin movies, I have another one on VHS somewhere, so gotta get into these at some point. Lily Cat, I've talked about this in depth in my 8 amazing anime from the 80s video, but this is like if The Thing and Alien had a baby, this is what would come out. It's the anime version of Alien in a lot of ways, and it's very cool, great animation, awesome music, like music that doesn't even deserve to be in this anime, to be quite honest, which is definitely a B anime. The animation's not great, the voice acting is subpar, but it's fun and has a lot of grotesque moments and some very cool animation bits, despite the animation being subpar overall. Lilycat. Next up, Legend of Lemnir. Again, don't know much about this one. Let's see if it says anything. Creative talents of Kinji Yoshimoto, Norimasa Yamanaka of Appleseed. 45 minutes long. I like that. Nice and short. I don't know nothing about this. Do you? Labyrinth of Flames. I'm sorry, guys. Another one that I haven't seen. From the director Katsuhiko Nishijima that did Project Eiko, which I love, which will be coming up some point here soon. But yeah. Labyrinth of Flames. Cool. I like to pick up anime that was based on video games. I kind of pick up all that I see just because I'm a big video game fan, of course. Kirby Fright to the Finish. It's a Kirby anime. Had to come home with me. Absolutely, I love Kirby. Who doesn't love Kirby? He's the cutest little thing in the world. Kino's Journey, the complete collection. This was actually recommended to me by a friend, and I've yet to check it out. It looks like a sort of adventurous, not too heavy on the action, I don't think, but an adventure anime of some sort. So, 13 episodes, I gotta check this one out. Kino's Journey. Chimera. Now, I have seen this, or I was watching this one night, late night, and I kind of fell asleep while watching it, but I loved what I was seeing. This is a late 90s Lovecraftian sort of horror anime that I found a couple months ago, actually, 6-8 months ago. I think I showed it in one of my thrifting videos. But I picked this up on a whim. It looked like my kind of thing, and I think it is. So that is Chimera. The Karas films, which I actually haven't seen since I was a teenager, or in my early 20s, I should say, when I was just really getting into anime. I don't remember much about these, but I know it's a sequel, or you know, they're connected, obviously. One is the sequel to the other. 80-minute features. Yeah, don't know much about these, but I want to check them out again. Next one up, an OVA called Judge from the mid-90s. It takes place in a world where the dead seek redemption for the crimes that were committed against them. And there's a judge-like character, a court that determines certain things, a supernatural court. It sounds cool, right? And it is. It's not bad. It has some gory moments. But the story didn't really do it for me, and it's a short one, too, so if you don't nail the story in like a 45-50 minute OVA, then, you know, that does hurt it quite a bit. But I do remember enjoying this one. Not bad, and happy to have it in my collection. It's definitely obscure. Next up, The Irresponsible Captain Tyler. I love this one. This is the complete series here. It is a TV series, anime TV series. This one's from 1993, and it follows a captain named Tyler who somehow becomes the captain of this gigantic ship through just mistaken circumstances. It's one of those sort of comedy of errors where he just gets in way over his head, but he somehow handles things, and he handles them in a way that seems like he knows what he's doing. And each episode sort of plays on those ideas and expands on those ideas and goes some really cool places that I won't obviously divulge here. But The Irresponsible Captain Tyler is just that. It's about an irresponsible Captain Tyler who may have more to him than it seems, or may not. You'll have to watch it to find out. This is a great anime series. I love this one. We've got one of the Marvel anime things, the Iron Man one. I've heard that these are really not that good. I've got a few of them you'll see coming up, but hey, I want to give them a try. I like Iron Man as a character. I love anime, so those two things together, no brainer. I'll at least give it a whirl. Picked this up for $1 years and years ago, along with the other ones you'll see in the collection. We've got Iria, Zeidam. If you guys have seen the live-action movie Zeidam 1, 2, Zeidam 1 and 2, I should say. This was the anime that those films were based on. Actually, you know what? They both come from a manga. I'm not sure if the anime or the films came first. I know the films are from the early 90s, late 80s. This is from the early 90s as well. Very cool. Follows a female bounty hunter in a very utopian-seeming futuristic world. Very cool, very trippy, very Japanese, very quirky. I do love this series, but I haven't seen all of it, I gotta be honest. I've only seen a couple of the episodes. I think it's an OVA, so I've only seen a couple of the episodes, but that is Iria. This one's actually directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, one of the few of his that I've yet to see. Highlander, The Search for Vengeance. Forgot the subtitle there. I like the Highlander movies, and I love Yoshiaki Kawajiri, so match made in heaven. I'll have to check this out at some point. The Heroic Legend of Arslan. Complete series. Heck yeah. Fantasy anime from the early 90s, I believe this one is from. Gotta check it out. Have yet to do so. Guardian of Darkness, Takegami War God. Contains all 3 volumes. See, as you can tell, a lot of these I pick up because it says things like that. Complete series, complete OVA, all 3 volumes, full story. That's what I love. This one is from 90 to 92, and it features the talents of Masami Obari, who apparently worked on Bubblegum Crisis episode 5 and 6, and Kenichi Onuki, Wrath of the Ninja, and Earthian. I've not heard of Earthian. I think I've heard of Wrath of the Ninja, actually. But, yeah, I don't know much about this. Know nothing, actually. This is an OVA from 94, Grappler Baki. I think this is part of a larger series, but I'm not exactly sure. But I need to check this out. It seems like another fight tournament, karate. In this case, it looks like karate. And I need to see this. I haven't seen it. So that is Grappler Baki, the Ultimate Fighter. Golden Boy. I picked this one up because of Happy Console Gamer's recommendation. I don't usually get into comedy anime, but through his recommendation, I figured maybe I could break into a new genre. Golden Boy. I believe this is the entire series. Yep, it's 6-episode OVA here, or series. I'm not exactly sure which one. But yeah, I hear it's really funny, really quirky, really good. Haven't seen it, though. Ghost in the Shell 2, of course, I have seen. I need this on Blu-ray, to be quite honest. I haven't seen this in years. I know I prefer the original over this one, but this one delves even further into its cyberpunk themes and really explores the characters a bit more. It's even creepier at points from what I remember. It's been a while. I gotta rewatch this one, but that is Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence. Genocyber. This is one I still have to see. I remember I watched it once, and there was a scene that really turned me off, and I just kind of turned the whole thing off and haven't gone back to it. But it's very cyberpunk looking, mecha, bio-organic sort of imagery. Definitely need to look in or check out Genocyber. This is the entire collection. I know this is out of print and very hard to find now. It's not on Blu-ray. That is Genocyber. Gantz. Gantz follows a group of teens who get sucked into this game-like world where if they die in it, they die in real life. As far as I can remember, this was actually one of the first anime that I ever got into in my late teens. It was recommended to me by a coworker, and I really enjoyed what I saw, but I do need to go back to it because I was an anime noob at that time. This has a whole series of live-action shows and movies and even more anime like Gantz Zero, things like that. But this is, I believe, yes, Season 1, the entire collection here. So I do need to give this one another whirl at some point. Garze's Wing, from the creator of Gundam. So there you go. I like what I've seen of Gundam. Hopefully Garze's Wing is pretty good too. I believe it's an OVA. Yeah, 90 minutes long, so it sounds like an OVA or a feature film. Haven't seen it. Oh yeah, picked this one up about 6 months ago from Second and Charles in Fayetteville. The 5-Star Stories. This is from the 80s. This was one I was looking for quite some time, and I found it at a good price. Couldn't pass it up. I've yet to see it, but it seems like my kind of thing. Sci-fi action from the 80s. Anime. I'm in. Next up, Street Fighter 2 Volume 2. I've heard really good things about this anime. I really want to get into it, but I can't start with Volume 2. So I'm kind of waiting until I pick up Volume 1, find it in the wild, etc., etc. What I have seen of this, though, looks awesome. Looks right up there with the animated movie, which I love. But I am looking forward to getting into this when I have the rest of the series. That is Street Fighter 2, the animated series. The anime, I should say. And that leads me to Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, which is awesome. If you're a Street Fighter fan, I mean, the US version is amazing. It's not a good movie by any means. It's a mess, but God, is it fun with JCVD, Raul Julia. I love the movie. I grew up with it. What can I say? But this is where it's at in terms of feature film Street Fighter 2 movies. Like this, the US version, the live action version, doesn't even hold a candle to this. It's violent. It has nudity. It's awesome. Great music. It has all the characters we know and love from Street Fighter 2. I need to upgrade to Blu-ray. I believe this is out there on Blu-ray somewhere. But I do have a nice DVD copy with the slipcover and all that. So, pretty cool. I've got Rojin Z, which is actually written by Katsuhiro Otomo of Akira. And this I actually haven't seen. It is a sci-fi, somewhat sort of action as far as I understand. Written by Katsuhiro Otomo, of course. An elderly invalid Takazawa is volunteered for a bizarre experiment that may revolutionize care for the elderly. Despite the protests of his young nurse, Haruko, the Z-001 is supposed to be the ultimate surrogate nurse. It can monitor, bathe, feed, exercise, and provide entertainment by linking with the patient's brainwaves. That's all I'll say. Sounds super cool to me. Super cyberpunky in Katsuhiro Otomo's weird way. Looking forward to Rojin Z. Next up, Straight Jacket. Gotta be completely honest, I have seen this. I enjoyed what I saw. It was in the early days of me burgeoning as an anime fan. Very short movie. It's like 76 minutes long. I liked it. I just remember nothing about it. So that means it's time for a rewatch. Speaking of Katsuhiro Otomo, he would give us Steam Boy, which is an excellent, underrated anime film with a hair coming off the top of it. Steam Boy, obviously a steampunk masterpiece of an anime. I don't think it's a perfect film, but it's such an underrated film in general in terms of especially steampunk and science fiction. This one's really cool. I love Steam Boy. Not sure if this is out on Blu-ray yet, but I need to look into that. Steam Boy. Spriggan, again, I watched this when I was burgeoning as an anime fan, have yet to rewatch it, and I don't remember much about it. It's been too long. I gotta be honest, in my early days, I was just all about the visuals, and I didn't pay much attention to the story the first time around, because it was such a visual experience for me that I was not used to say the least. That is Spriggan. Next up is Silent Service. Seems like a war anime film of some sort, or OVA. Looks cool, that's why I picked it up. From the 90s, I'll give it a whirl. Shoot Fighter Tekken, I picked this up because it had the word Tekken in it. I actually don't think it has anything to do with the games Tekken. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this. I couldn't find much information at all. That is Shoot Fighter Tekken. Here we have Sherlock Hound. This is actually done by Hayao Miyazaki. I don't know if he directed all of these, but it was a series called Sherlock Hound that he had a large part to do with. It was sort of his brainchild. And not many people talk about that in terms of Miyazaki's work. And I haven't seen any of this, but it's obviously based on Sherlock Holmes. That is Sherlock Hound. Saber Rider! Yeah, Saber Rider's awesome. Now, this is the Americanized version of a Japanese show that I've now forgotten the name of. I used to know quite a bit about this because I was like, how can I watch the original Japanese show? The answer is you can't in 2020. It's nowhere to be found. I haven't found it, at least. I'm not great with finding things on the internet, but I could not find this. It doesn't exist physically. No, definitely doesn't exist physically in its original format, language. When I say Americanized, a lot of these old shows like Voltron, they took from Japan, licensed from Japan, I should say, and Americanized it. Took out some of the violence and the action and the language and all the things that made it cool in Japan and dumbed it down for American audiences. Now, this actually is still really well put together, in my opinion, and it has awesome action, great mecha designs and character designs in general, cool characters. I really like this. Oh, and a killer theme song. Cyborg J Marionette! I don't know anything about this. I found this during a hunt within the last year or so at Restore, and it was a complete series. Contains 9 episodes on 2 discs. Saber J Marionette DVD Collection 1. Maybe it's not the full series, but it's at least the first part. And it looked like something I might enjoy. Action, sci-fi, weird. Yeah, Saber J Marionette. Read or Die. I believe this is a film. I've yet to see Read or Die. I've heard good things about it. Has to do with books, and I think it has some horror elements. I really don't know. Enlighten me. Oh, yeah. Project A-ko. This movie is awesome. This arguably started the schoolgirl style of anime with these 3 girls, A-ko, B-ko, C-ko, who are in some sort of bizarre lesbian love triangle, even though it's not really ever said that they are. Crazy shit happens, an alien invasion, giant mechas converge on this little town, and they have to fight their way out of things. It's a crazy movie with awesome action and awesome music. It has sequels that I've yet to see, but if you like fun, action-filled anime, Project A-ko is one you should check out. Another one I picked up on Happy Console Gamer's recommendation, Otaku no Video. I don't know much about this. I know it's more of a slice-of-life comedy sort of thing. I believe it comments on the otaku sort of culture, and I really wish I could say more. I really don't know much about it, but I do want to check this out because Happy Console Gamer recommended it, and I trust his recommendations in terms of anime. So that is Otaku no Video. I believe this is a bootleg, like one of those good bootlegs, if you know what I mean. Maybe not. No, I think I'm pretty sure it is. That is Gundam... I don't know what I'm talking about here. Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny 1. The first part of this series. I've only seen some of the original Gundam, and I love it. I'd love to own that stuff on Blu-ray. I think it's out there now. But I haven't gotten into any other Gundam series, so this is one that I'm going to get to once I get through the rest, the beginning stages of Gundam. Metropolis, this is a Rintaro film based on the original silent film from Fritz Lang, Metropolis, which I've yet to see, of course, famously. Need to rectify that, but I refuse to watch the anime version until I watch the live-action Fritz Lang one. So I will get to this one day. Memories. This one is by Katsuhiro Otomo. I think a different director directs each segment of this. It's an anthology with 3 short stories. Really cool stuff. Check this out if you like cyberpunk, sci-fi anime from the 80s. This is awesome. This is a really cool one. I'm glad to own in the collection. That is very hard to find now. I think there's a 3rd volume, if I'm not mistaken, but this is based on Capcom's Mega Man, of course, and it's the anime show. I think it's from the 90s, I'm pretty sure. Great animation. Actually, really solid animation, I'll say. Really cool action. The voice acting is decent, the English dub. I remember watching it in the English dub. I don't know if it has the original Japanese. Not exactly sure. And of course, it doesn't say conveniently on the box here. Oh yeah, it does. In English. Okay, so it doesn't have the Japanese tracks, but I do remember the dub being average at best, I'd say. But it is a fun show, and as a collector of video games and video or anime based on video games, I'm glad to have this one in the collection. Mask of the Guy? I have no idea. Never seen this one. Know nothing about Mask of the Guy. What guy? Magnos the Robot. Now, this is from the 70s. I'm sure it has other titles. This is the Americanized version, I'm almost positive. But this is very early mecha from the mid to late 70s. Looking forward to checking this out someday. One day, someday, I'm gonna watch all these movies. Macross 2, the movie. Gotta get through Super Dimension Fortress Macross first, which I have seen parts of and really enjoy. All that early Japanese mecha anime that I dig so much. But this is Macross 2, the movie. Of course, haven't seen it. More Macross that I haven't seen because I'm just collecting these for the day that I do get through the original series. Macross Plus, I've heard this compared to Top Gun, the anime version of Top Gun, which is another big movie I've yet to see. That is Macross Plus. Voltron Fleet of Doom seems to be a Voltron movie of some sort. I've not seen it. No clue about it. We've got Voices of a Distant Star. Who's the director on this one? Makoto Shinkai. I've only seen one of his movies, one that I actually don't own. I forgot the name of it. Children with Lost Voices, something like that. But I do want to get into Makoto Shinkai's work. I hear it's excellent. I hear it's very distinct. And he's one of the modern masters of the genre. So I do need to get into his work, no doubt. Virgin Fleet. I don't even want to go into what I think this may be about. Unico. I remember picking this up from Second and Charles. I was just charmed by the artwork on the back. It looks so cute. Unico. It's about a little red-headed unicorn, flying unicorn. I don't know, man. It's from the 80s. I believe Osamu Tezuka has something to do with this, if I'm not mistaken. The guy who created Speed Racer and Astro Boy. Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that is Unico. Trigun. This is the movie, actually, that came after the show. Now, this is a modern anime. Modern, I say. That I have seen. I completed the whole series back when I was becoming an anime fan. Love this one. Love Vash the Stampede as a character. Very irresponsible Captain Tyler, to be honest, where he just kind of stumbles into these situations and he may or may not be as capable or more capable or less capable than he appears to be. It's a very cool show that gets really weird in the last few episodes, but the action is awesome. Great characters. Definitely has a Mad Max influence. Love me some Trigun. Still need to see this one here. The movie. Alright, you guys are going to have to tell me about this series because I've not seen any Tenchi movies or TV show or whatever. Tenchi Muyo. Don't know much about this. It seems sort of action adventure-ish. I don't know if it really is. I don't know if it's more slice of life. It seems cool though and fantastical, so I'm going to give it a try. This I think is a trilogy of movies, I believe. So yeah, Tenchi, the movies. Pretty cool. We've got the Galaxy Railways. More stuff from Leiji Matsumoto. I'm just sort of collecting these as I find them. The Galaxy Express universe, I'll say. Galaxy Railways. More video game inspired anime. Legend of Mystical Ninja. This is unfortunately like volume 3, so I will have to track down the other volumes, of course, to watch this as a series, but that is Mystical Ninja, the anime. Another anime-inspired one, that is Wild Arms, a Wild West RPG from the PS1 era that I've yet to play. I do own the first 2 or first 3, and I do want to sit down and play those one day, but that is Wild Arms. And more video game-inspired anime, Tekken. I like the Tekken games. Grew up playing the PS1 Tekken games. Didn't really get into the PS2 ones too much, but this is Tekken, the anime. Yeah. Here's a cool looking series. Very cyberpunk sort of mecha that I've yet to get into. Technoman. Technoman? Is that what it's called? Technoman. Yeah. So, I haven't seen this one, guys. Let me know if you think I'll enjoy it. I'm looking forward to checking this one out someday. Tekkan Crete. I want to say this was an American living in Japan or something like that directed this one. Obviously, I've never watched it, never opened it, still sealed. So, yeah. Next up, Sword of Truth, directed by Osamu Dezaki, but I think there were a lot of production problems with this one, despite him directing it. Haven't seen it. Seems like a ninja anime, not unlike Ninja Scroll. So, yeah, that is Sword for Truth. Here's my lone version of the original Macross. I believe this is the original Macross here. Disc number 8 out of who knows how many. It's a huge series. So, hey, I'm getting somewhere, I guess, with the series. So I'm kind of going to pick it up as I find them. Super Dimension Macross Fortress. Super Atragon. This is an old Japanese story. I think it was based on a novel. Very Jules Vernean in a lot of ways. This had some really cool naval combat sequences. I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the action, but the politics and the story are kind of slow and boring at points, I gotta be honest. But the animation's solid, music was good, but the action was excellent. That is Super Atragon. Mamoru Hosada's Summer Wars, another director who I've heard is one of the modern sort of masters of anime. I've yet to get into any of his work, though, and I've yet to see this one. That is Summer Wars. Street Fighter Alpha Generations. I believe this is another TV series, Street Fighter TV series, that I've yet to see. So, hair everywhere. Next up, we've got another series I've yet to get into. I'm exposing all of the holes in my knowledge of anime here. I have a lot of watching to do. But Yu Yu Hakusho. This seems like something I'll kind of enjoy. I'm not exactly sure, to be quite honest. I know it's one of the more popular series out there, but it looks fun, it looks horror-ish and fantasy, so I'm looking forward to it. And it's obviously action, so Yu Yu Hakusho. Here's another one of those Marvel anime ones, X-Men. You gonna fall? You gonna fall? And we've got a whole bunch of X here. X is a show that I believe that was created by Yoshiaki Kawajiri. I've only seen the movie, which I have right here. And the movie was so incomprehensible, and I looked up some reviews, and I was like, what the hell am I missing? And they were like, you really need to see the series to understand the movie. So I've been slowly collecting the series here. I don't know what the difference between this version and these are, but I will find out when I need to, I suppose. That is X, the series and the movie. Wrath of the Ninja, I do have this one. Okay, Wrath of the Ninja, I thought this had something to do with Ninja Scroll, but I guess it really doesn't. Not exactly sure. I've heard this is not that great, but it's another ninja anime, so I'll give it a whirl. And the last Marvel anime one is Wolverine here. So another Marvel anime one I've yet to see. Next up, we have Yoshiaki Kawajiri, Wicked City. A lot of people love this movie, and they say it's one of Yoshiaki's best. I've seen it 2 or 3 times now, and I just can't get into it. It's very tentacle porny. Not very. I mean, it's not like Urutsuko Doji or anything like that. But it's got some of those sequences that really just kind of throw me off and turn me off, to be honest. But it is straight up Blade Runner meets horror. Yoshiaki Kawajiri's animation is always phenomenal, excellent. But it's the story that I have a hard time getting into, I'll say. So that is Wicked City. Next up is The Weathering Continent. I watched this a couple months ago, and I was blown away by this sort of pseudo post-apocalyptic adventure into these catacombs. These 3 wanderers kind of venture into these catacombs, and things aren't what they seem. And this group of bandits is after them. It's very Mad Max in that sense. And it's short, it's sweet, it's beautiful to look at. The music is phenomenal. I've actually listened to some of it on YouTube outside of watching the movie. Very underrated little film, and it's very short. It's 60 minutes long. So you're in and out. Check out The Weathering Continent. This is nobody talks about this movie. I've not seen many people even owning this one. So that is The Weathering Continent. And last but possibly least, I actually haven't seen it, but I picked this up off of the free shelf from my store years ago because I recognized it. It's Warriors of the Wind. This is the apparent butchered Americanization of one of my favorite films of all time, top 5, Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. I hear that this takes out the violence and the adult themes and just butchers it to the point where it doesn't even resemble the original film by Miyazaki. So I'm intrigued because of that. That sounds so bizarre to me. And I didn't know this was on DVD. This might in fact be a bootleg. I can't ever find any information on this. I gotta be completely honest. I can't. Who knows? Maybe this is the original Nausicaa. For all I know, it could be. But it says Warriors of the Wind, which I know is that butchered Americanization. Either way, if you guys know anything about this release, it might be a bootleg. Let's see what the disc looks like. Ooh. That's what the disc looks like. It's a good job if it is a bootleg. So either way, I'm happy to have it in my Nausicaa collection. And I do want to give this one a whirl at some point to see how bad it in fact is, if it is in fact Warriors of the Wind. I just want to thank you guys for sitting through my extra long video showing off every single one of my anime DVDs. The Blu-ray version of this is going to be much shorter because I don't have nearly as many. These are all things I've picked up over the years at thrift shops and pawn shops for very little money. Things that seemed like they were in my wheelhouse of anime. If there are any here that you guys think I should check out now, please feel free to leave those down in the comments below and we could get a little discussion rolling. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel and want to see more videos like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the little bell for notifications. Anyway guys, I will see you next time. Bored Cyborg out.